is 5 p.m. here in Accra, Ghana. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Starr today here on Starr 103.5 FM. And coming up this evening,
lost to the elephants and gracefully under the umbrella, will the Greater Accra region be another kingmaker to make it possible for the NPP to reset the NDC's old glories? Come along with us on Poll Talk this evening.
Well, so in the bulletin this evening, Electoral Commission directs Ghana Police Service to begin investigations into a pickup truck which was reportedly impounded for transporting ballot papers and voters registered to the Ahafo Anot 1 and 2. Now we'll shortly hear from the NDC, who have accused the governing NPP of masterminding the printing of the fake ballot papers.
It is the MPP and government functionaries and the printing press owner who should be arrested by now to be telling us why contesting election by yet printing ballot paper. When the Electoral Commission is telling the public to ignore, it's unfounded because it is not something the public can ignore. If private individuals are printing duplicate of serious.
Also in this bulletin, IGP to hold crunch meeting with the NPP and the NDC over venue for their final rallies tomorrow, happening in neighboring constituencies. Medina and Ayawase West Wogon will take you live to the venue of that meeting, plus hear from the NDC, who say they are confident the police will provide adequate security to the two leading parties.
I'm not responsible for the security of the Ghana Police Service. And so we believe that since we have announced that they served the police our letter the day before the NPJDPS, it was up to the police to advise them to change location. But I believe the police is up to the task, so whatever it is, they will come and then provide adequate security for the good people of this country.
Well, as we gear up towards election day on Saturday, pressure is mounting on security agencies to arrest and prosecute Ayawase West Wogon MP Lydia Seyram Al-Hassan for distributing food to security officials during Monday's special voting exercise.
It was so shameful. And what hurt me most was that these people in line to go and vote was security personnel. And I didn't see one of them rejecting it. I didn't see one of them rejecting it. The PC, that's the parliamentary candidate for that particular constituency, one question, she denied it. Such a person should have been arrested there and then.
We'll hear from the founding member of the governing New Patriotic Party, who has joined growing calls for condemnation of the MP's conduct, plus tell you why former President John Dramani Mahama has also waded into the controversy.
And later in the bulletin, we'll tell you why former President Mahama is mocking NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia after an electronic gate at the Kotoka International Airport failed to respond during its inauguration.
The digital gates didn't open for the digital man. You can do all the propaganda with digitalization you like. If the fundamentals of your digitalization are weak, the digital gates will expose you.
Well, we've got details of these plus more, including the latest in the world of business, also coming up in the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. So do stay with us right here on Starr Today.
Starr News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Cool 103.5 FM in Ho, Rage and Might FM in Tamale, Somali FM in Wa, My Star Radio in the USA. Also live on Facebook on Starr 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Starr 103.5 FM.
Grateful for your company this evening and welcome aboard Ghana's most comprehensive news analysis program. Start today here on Star 103.5 FM. Tonight, as always, we're streaming live on social media. We're live on Facebook. So do join us with your thoughts, your comments, your views, and contributions to the stories that we'll be tackling this evening. I am Joshua Kujo Mensa, and I'm here with
Tutua Danso. We start off the bulletin with the poll talk. Now, this is the battleground where every vote counts and every ballot has the power to tilt the nation's future. From the buzzing streets of Accra to its rapidly expanding suburbs, Greater Accra is more than just a region. It is the heartbeat of Ghana's electoral landscape, a kingmaker that has shaped outcomes since 1992. Now, the burning question, could Greater Accra once again determine who takes the keys to the Jubilee House? In 2020, the NDC won but lost the keys to the presidency. Now, will a comeback secure the keys for them now? Or despite the key issues concerning voters in this region, is it possible to chart a new path to victory for the NPP here in Accra? And this is where the elections could be won or lost. Welcome, Ejabing, to the poll talk.
Thank you so much, Tutua. Today I got it right, innit?
You always call me Vanessa on it. That's a cardinal sin. But as I said earlier, the Greater Accra region is known to be one of the kingmakers in our electoral history. What are the numbers saying regarding this year's election?
Well, if you look at the Greater Accra region, it may look small. You know what people say, don't mind the body, mind the engine. It's true when it comes to the Greater Accra region. It's quite small as compared to many other regions, but it accounts for the largest share of voter population. We are looking at 3.7 million people participating in this particular electoral cycle. They are about 20% of Ghana's voter population. So it is key, but it's also known for its unpredictability, flipping between the NDC and the MPP over the years. You could say because of its cosmopolitan nature, people move all the way from wherever they are, whatever roots they are accustomed to, whatever socialization they may be having with the elephant or the umbrella, to the Greater Accra region, where the issues that are predominantly going through the airwaves, going through the mass media, social media, what they see around, having a feel of the presidency and the political parties' major activities, tend to influence how they decide to vote on election day. So if you look at regional breakdown, you could see that there's quite a youthful population over here. A significant number are middle-class people who are working, and it's cosmopolitan, as I mentioned earlier. And if you look at the voter turnouts, they've been doing so well. We do about 60%. I think the 2016 figure was around 65%. Yes. The key issues impacting voters for this particular electoral cycle, unemployment is one.
Okay.
Accra is ridden with a number of people who have moved all the way from wherever they may be hailing from to come and seek job. Into Oba Nase. The agenda now they brought here, they don't get it, they don't get a job, it becomes very difficult for them. As well, if you look at it being the the national capital, people would want to see some developmental works taking major shape within the region, but oftentimes you do not see a lot happening. So this is an issue we'll be looking at. I'm sure you'll be looking at some in your own area. My area is the roads I'll be looking at. Economic hardship as well, because Accra is like the center of it all. Things are quite, cost of living is it's high. Things are quite expensive in this particular region, and so it's part of the issues
so
people would.
All of these factors are going to
yes,
play
they are going to
shape
shape how people decide exactly how they are going to vote, and the issues of inflation, issues of city depreciation, issues of fuel prices, issue of commodity prices, all of these things will fuse themselves into what people will look at to vote based on the history, the experiences with both governments, the NDC, the MPP. Remember, the NDC left on the ticket of a bad and a worse economic time for people. The MPP is experiencing same, although they say that they had a successful economy on a successful run before COVID struck.
I think yesterday the president has been touring this region, and he said that under his presidency, the economy has multiplied about 4 times since he became president.
But it's his own VP who says that the economy is in our pockets. People need to feel that they are not struggling, and that sense of awareness comes from their pockets. So no matter how the economic indicators may be shaping up, no matter how much gains No matter.
I know you're wondering the reason we are laughing. That's because Kojo Mensah just showed us his pockets.
He emptied his
completely empty. Oh my God! And he's in the Greater Accra region. Carry on.
So for someone like Joshua, he will be looking at his
Please,
pockets.
he's rich. He's just pretending. Don't mind him.
He's
Continue.
pretending to be poor. If he shows us all his money today, what will he show us tomorrow? Okay, I
Of
get that
course.
vibe. So yeah, people will be looking at that because essentially in Accra, your money takes you places, or your lack of it denies you access to many places. And that's a place where a lot of things are happening. So people would want to have a feel and a shot at life, especially for young people. So they are looking at who would give them the best opportunity to thrive.
Right.
So that's the dynamics that will play out. But like as I mentioned earlier, the Greater Accra has been flipping between the NDC and the MPP. At the point, the MPP did 3 straight. The NDC came to do 3 straight, and then they flipped to the MPP back again, and then it flipped back to the NDC. So from the early 2000s, the MPP was dominating. Late 2000s, the NDC dominating. Then 2016, boom, switch back to the MPP, and then 2020 back to the NDC. So as to whether the NDC will maintain its old glory from 2020, people are predicting that based on the issues that are predominant in this particular electoral cycle, they are likely to vote against the incumbent. But that is something that we are both yet to see.
Okay.
I don't know why they are both having their final rallies 10 kilometers apart from each other. But maybe it gives you a picture of how critical the numbers in the Greater Accra region is. It's 3.7 million. The last
Up for
electoral
grabs.
cycle, they both did above 1 million. And the margins were not that huge. So whoever is able to close that gap and do more is likely to tilt the national election in its favor. And let's not forget, we have 13 of the largest 20 constituencies in the Greater Accra region.
I mean, Dom Kwabenya is there.
Yeah.
Featuring hugely.
Yes, it's the
and
first.
you see, I've heard people question why the NPP, for instance, will decide to hold its rally here in Accra. And I've said to them, listen, the NPP knows that it's not done so well in the Greater Accra region. When you look along the coast, almost all the constituencies are in the hands of the NDC. And so if you want to consolidate gains somewhere, make a statement somewhere, it has to be in Accra. And I mean, why would you want to take your final rally to Kumasi?
Kumasi is already won.
When they have been there for about
and look-
20 days accumulatively, if I'm not wrong.
And if you look at the strategy, the NDC sends John Mahama. They sent the first lady, the second lady,
Samira is there.
and see the crowd she pulled at Kejetia. So you could see that, we are not doing our final stuff here, but we are sending someone there who is equally capable of winning
Pulling,
people's
exactly.
favor. And they intentionally went to the market. The fact that it's a woman coming to
The
place
Ketia.
where we have a lot of women,
Lots of women
a sense
engaging
of
in businesses.
identification, a sense of belonging.
Right.
It's great. I don't know much about Jane's efforts in the Ashanti region.
Has she been there?
Not
Maybe not.
one that I quite remember. But I mean, Nana Jane, clearly on the campaign train. You realize that the NDC's plot basically is not necessarily to pay too much attention to the Ashanti region.
Yeah.
Likewise, the NPP when it comes to the Volta region.
Yeah.
They are not paying too much attention there in terms of campaign. You know what you will get in the Volta
Definitely.
region.
It will still be a gap of 1
exactly.
million
But
for
where
the
you have to
NPP.
focus is the Greater Accra region, because this part of this country, people do not vote simply because they belong to a party.
Exactly.
And here's when you report skirt and blouse.
It's a cocktail of so many people from diverse backgrounds.
Exactly. And I also was working for the NPP. Quite interested.
Yes, it is
The choice of
interesting.
Ayawaso West Wagon.
It is interesting because you see, and it throws light on what we are to see in this particular electoral cycle. Ayawaso West Wagon is a key constituency that the NDC wants to cement its ground there. The NPP, sorry, they want to cement its hold of that particular constituency. You know why? It is the area with the elites. People. This party has often been identified as a party of the
elitist
elites.
party.
So they don't want anything to sway people away from Ayawaso West Wagon.
Right.
243 polling stations, over 100,000 voters. 72 of them are in places of higher learning. And imagine, 56 are on University of Ghana campus. So you understand why Ma Lydia and John DeMello are so keen about that particular place. There's some 19,000 new voters. And school is in session.
Yes.
For the MPP, luckily enough, Guru NKZ
Is
Is the SRC president.
And those who understand.
And over the weekend, he had a walk. There was a walk
He performed.
to a brief for the students there and say, hey, NKZ.
There's a lot of focus there. A lot of.
So that explains the reason John DeMello spends virtually all his time
Yeah.
On
the
campus.
university campus.
You
I
cannot
see.
afford not to. You cannot afford not
90,000 new
to.
voters.
Yes.
But you see, there's an
significant.
interesting dynamic over there, and the reason why the MPP needs to cement its gain over there. In the MPP presidential primaries, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia lost in Ayawaso West. Kennedy Japan won. So there is a general ideation that
We might be losing grounds there.
people are not really happy with Bawumia.
Baumia's candidacy.
And then you see the area of the East Legon, and that's where the elitists with the richest people are in Accra. I'm
And
not
they
going
are-
to argue with that airport till
No,
they lose. That's
they
not
are-
my
And you see, with things like this, my friends in Amasaman, I can't blow, will not be happy with you. Because we are also an elitist.
No, I mean,
In your own right.
I mean, whenever you mention East Legon, we cannot deny that fact. But look at that area.
But Chamamun to me says cantonment is better than London.
Europe, yeah.
It looks better than London.
No comments. I've not been to
And
London.
Ladadekotopong.
I've not been to
That is the
London.
constituency where cantonment is located.
I've not been to London. but
Laboni is located.
I've not been to
And
London.
Chamamun to me
so
says it looks better than London. In fact, it looks better than London.
I'll keep quiet. That particular seat is
Right.
predominantly MP. But look at what has happened. The debt restructuring, the CD performance, the cost of living. See, these people
most
who
of the
ones who
people,
are
exactly.
affected.
They are, they are
The depreciation of the
businessmen.
CD.
Yes,
They are those
these
who
are
are
people
into
who have
imports
had
and
their,
exports. They
their
have issues
money
with.
cut. So if I am Dr. Bawumia and the MPP, where do you think I'll go there? Where would I go to go and give people an assurance that, oh, things will change in our favor?
Yeah.
And you see, in Accra, we can make all the arguments that we want to make, but you see that club, there's a certain club in Accra. It's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Which club?
Vanessa, are you asking me?
They say they are fitness people, but they don't look
There is
fit.
Legon
Oh,
executive.
but you too.
You have to mention it.
I'm asking.
Well, I plead the fifth.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, so I'm in
The
trouble.
fitness
alone.
club,
Okay.
their pockets,
It's fit.
it fits. It cannot lose muscular strength.
No.
So you cannot afford to cut them off. So if your government comes to be and you have cut them off certain things that they were supposed to get, which was not their fault, all they had to do is put their money somewhere.
Yeah.
And so it might tilt in the favor of the NDC and Dumelo. Now listen, the people who voted for
Of
Mali,
Dumelo?
yes, the people who voted for Lydia in 2020 are no longer in the University of Ghana campus. Level 300, 400, you're gone.
They're gone.
Even if you're level 100, you are leaving. So it's the new registrants. That's why they were both keen when the new voter registration exercise was going on.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
there is a new crop of people to pull from. And there's a new crop of people who have come from away to come and register or transfer their votes to that particular
I see.
constituency.
So that's the reason they were sweeping samples.
Yes,
still.
that's why
Oh, of course.
you'll be playing PS4 or driving the bus when you originally drive a Mercedes Benz.
A job.
You're driving a shuttle.
Exactly.
I
Because you
see.
need to win the favor of the people. So it's quite serious. And you see, that elitist area, they can choose to say, maybe we don't like NDC, so we'll not vote for NDC. Then you come down to the Belingbe, the Balashi, and those areas. Those people are not the rich people.
The Mempasem. Mempasem.
And those are the people who identify the NDC. So if those people decide to vote, and then the East Legon area people decide not to vote, and John Dumelo maintains that portion over there, and he's able to get into that, out of the 56 polling stations whatsoever on the University of Ghana campus, he breaks into that cycle.
It'll be a disaster.
So although
for
it is
Mali,
a seat for the MPP, anything can happen. And they know
It's not a
that much.
comfortable seat.
Yeah, and they know that much. That's why they are so much there.
Okay, away from the Ayawaso West Wogun, let's
Don't
look
say
at the...
Ableguma West.
Oh no, I'm just going to give you the chance to tell us about the other. But you definitely talk about Ableguma
The way she
West.
said-
And Ladadekotopong. Because that's where the president's driver is contesting on the ticket of the NPP.
I don't know why we
Joseph
want,
Addo.
I don't
is
know why
competing
we
His
want
with-
to-
billboards are all over.
Oh, yes,
Starting
yes,
from
yes. Pajo.
Cantonments.
Pajo's
Yeah,
all over.
Why do we want to dwell on the fact that it's the president's driver?
Oh, no, but I mean,
who
that's,
we know
that,
him
that's
to be.
exactly.
Or who else? What else?
Aside that, what more do you know about Joseph
Yeah, I don't know.
Addo?
I know that he was
Iman,
he's
what
the
do you know about
president's
him?
driver.
Thank you. I mean, that's my constituency. That's where
Yes.
I will cast my ballot on
Me
the
too,
7th.
Me too. My
of
Do you
friends
see
December.
are
his
there, so I
influence
know
in that
him.
area?
And you see, I have an issue with the NPP in Dade Kotopon because I think that they failed to capitalize on Gerald.
Okay.
Yeah. Because in 2020, Gerald was a new entrant. Now look at how he performed against the sitting MP.
He did good.
Compared to, so the question is, if you had allowed Gerald to continue in 2024, he's building up on what he did in 2020.
Makes
Now,
it easy for him.
clearly,
A new structure
Joseph
had
is
be
going
put
to
up.
start all over again. And unfortunately, there's a divide in the party because who did Joseph win against? He won against the MCE. Yes. Who initially had thrown his support behind Gerald to say, Charlie Mbile, we are doing it this year. Then later decides to say, you know what, let me go. So that in the near future, you can also.
You will come.
So for me, that is a huge mistake that the NPP would spend years paying for in Dade Kotopon.
With the entry of the president's driver.
Yeah, the president's driver.
And you see, it's not a seat where you'd say the MPP predominantly has had a stronghold
No.
over.
Of course.
The only time you had was what? Obama.
Yes.
It's been Nia Masana Mwale prior to that and all of that.
But we understand Obama is going independent now.
Exactly. So now
So
whatever votes that the MPP would get
Will be
originally will be
split.
split
Will be
between
split between
Power 7.
exactly. So those who are disgruntled with the party and those who favor the independent candidate, like we were doing yesterday for the Suhum constituency, there would always be that particular split, and it wouldn't favor the MPP in this particular contest. So that's it. But
I want us to focus on the other key constituencies to be on the lookout for. What are they? What are these constituencies that we are talking about?
my interest would go to Amasaman as a start. You know, it was very close in 2016. The poll, the ballots in 2016, it was very close between the MPP and the NDC. But predominantly, that seat, apart from the year 2004, is a seat that the NDC has won. But guess what? In 2020, it fell to the MPP. But yes, but this constituency that fell to the MPP, where they gave them a gap of somewhere around 2 to 3%. I think the difference was around 2,000 to 3,000 votes. The candidate that gave the MPP the victory, the candidate is not contesting. It's a new candidate.
I think is synonymous to what happened in Lade Kotopon.
Yeah, the one who made your inroad for you in that particular constituency
Has been dropped.
And you are bringing a new person. But of course, as party people, they will always say that, the old person, so far as you've not had any major issues, they are not fighting, they are the campaign managers supporting campaign and all of that. But then the gains made by the previous person has lost. And, well, let's see. From A, we go to B, right? Botiano.
Okay.
Sylvester Tete. He's the one was he the one in the clash with the GBC over certain
Yes,
land?
land.
That?
Yes,
Yeah, that's
he's
it.
the one.
So, it's an NDC seat, but you see, the worry for
Is Sly doing?
it's an MPP seat, sorry, but the worry for the MPP, if they are actually paying attention to that constituency, is the fact that the NDC is closing up the margins. So, if you look at the gains that Sly made in 2020, it's less than 5,000 votes. So I would be concerned that the NDC is getting closer. So although it seems like a solid seat for the NPP, it's likely going to go in the favor of the MPP. The NDC is gaining grounds, and with a very solid candidate, they may topple him. And Sly's area, there's been so many issues coming up against him, but who knows, he may be able to clinch that seat.
It looks positive for him.
It's likely MPP. It's likely MPP. I also is the solid NDC, the Nima area. Whether we go to Asieho or we go to Esroho, whatever date you may decide to consult, that seat, it has always been in favor of the
Okay,
NDC.
but in that constituency, how many times has the NDC held
every day.
NDC
Every day.
in Sly's constituency?
No, only Sly's constituency. Oh, never.
They haven't.
No. They have not. Since 2008 to date, the NDC has not won. But I think before 2008, yeah, they made some inroads over there. But after 2008, which is usually the electoral cycle that I would want to pay attention to, 2008, how would we?
Oh, I was quite old.
To vote.
No, not to vote.
Exactly. So beyond from 2008 to now, that's what we would focus. Because those who, our population has increased.
Certainly.
So I would say you don't want to live that past glory. You'd rather focus on the previous 2 to 3 terms to see how much gains you are making and how much losses you are making. That's why I would say that the NPP should be worried, because from 2012 to 2020, the NDC is making gains. So in 2024, it could flip, although it's likely an NPP seat. Anything could happen. It's less than 5,000 votes difference. 2024, it could flip, or the gap could be lessened. And in 2028, before you know it, the NDC is winning that particular seat. But for Ayawasu East, as I was mentioning earlier, it's solid NDC. MPP has not come close. Like, they've not come close at all, apart from 2000. But 2000, then again, I say 24 years ago, I will not rely on data from 24 years ago. That the immediate one I'll probably look at is from maybe 2008 or 2012. But 2000, 24 years ago, where you came close and you didn't even win, I would not be concentrating on that seat. But of course, you'd look at how much inroads you can make if you have a very solid candidate. 2016, Akufo-Addo's area, to say that it gave him some votes and all of that. Would they give the same thing to Bawumia? Those are the dynamics the NPP will be looking at. But some seats are there.
But I mean, now that you mentioned Bawumia, let's look at the candidacy of Bawumia. He's a Muslim, and Ayawaso East is an area,
Nima area.
Exactly. You don't think it will do anything for the NPP?
Bawumia is Muslim. I don't know what the Quran says about religious fluidity, but Bawumia has, in my experience with Muslims, I've not seen a Muslim, go to churches, engage in their activities and all of that. There are people who we say are staunch in their religious beliefs. So there's a Christian who never enter a mosque. There is a Muslim who never enter a church building. So if you have a Muslim like that, he would see or view what Bawumia is doing, not as maybe
odd.
He'll find it odd and will not say, I'm not, and might take a position against one of his own. I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm just saying these are things that could play out.
Certainly.
So he could leverage on the fact that it's the president's home, and it could leverage also on the fact that he's Muslim. But things could also tilt against him based on these two
he's
factors.
He's trying to identify with other religions.
Not that I don't think he's tried to identify, but I think he's been religious tolerance.
I really think that he's just trying to prove that he's going to be a leader for all.
Exactly.
He's not going to be a Muslim president.
Yeah, but people might not, at a point during Atamil's time, he didn't allow for libation to be poured during any national celebration.
Okay.
Because he's
Christian.
Also, on some he wasn't interested in stuff like that, so he just halted it. But other presidents will allow for a traditional prayer, a Christian prayer, and then a Muslim prayer. But there are people who are staunch in their beliefs, and they might find it odd, and you might lose that. So those things are likely to play out.
Okay. Talking about religious tolerance, my producer just sent in this to me that in Nima they actually believe in religious tolerance, because you find Muslims fellowshipping with Christians during Christmas and vice versa.
Then it means that Bawumia doesn't have a problem there. He's likely to get more in that particular constituency.
In terms of parliamentary, it may be a problem for the NPP,
as
it always has been.
Yes, it has been an NDC seat. I mean, I'm sure it's what gave Baba Jamal the confidence to move from Akwetia to come there, but it's still.
Talking about Baba Jamal, he's going to be our guest on the campaign trail this evening.
Beautiful. So I'm sure you'd engage him more on the dynamics over there when it comes to the parliamentary elections. I have a bias because I'm coming from Wejak Bawi, and I want to talk about Wejak Bawi.
You will talk about Wejak Bawi, but quick correction. So we understand that in the English Botsiano constituency, Bright Demoji was the MP there in 2012 on the ticket of the NDC.
So if you even look at it, it's still not a solid gain for them.
Course,
it's just one in how many electoral cycles?
In about 4. From 2012 to now?
We've had 3. From 2000, we've had
16, 20, now 2024. Yeah.
So it's not something that I don't even think the NPP is looking, the NDC is looking at clinching, but who knows? Anything could turn in the favor. I mean, I'm saying this election, we are going to it with so many possibilities. Anything at all can happen.
Just some added information. So we understand that every Friday, the Christians in the premises of the Christ Apostolic Church in Nima voluntarily vacate their premises to make way for the Muslims to worship there. So it sends a really good signal.
Then I want to believe that the MPP didn't do justice to the certain narrative that was painted about Bawumia going to churches, and because if this is the case within the Muslim community, then it means that the MPP
didn't communicate.
They didn't counter certain attacks that came from the opposition, which were against Bawumia for being that religiously tolerant and fluid to allow for even a pastor to place that. How do you call that thing? Shawl.
Hey, those who go to church.
Those who have gone to Israel. Maybe next time you should go to Israel and stop staying in Dansoman, Ablekuma West. Hoping that Esla will come and wash your clothes for you.
I didn't. Oh,
that's what you said.
I didn't say that.
You that's what you were hoping for.
No.
You said
at least one of them. But I didn't mention hey.
Esla,
I didn't say she should come and wash my clothes. I'm just saying that I wasn't fortunate enough to get some of these people to pass by my place and say, so you're doing your laundry today. Can I help?
Washing machine or your hands?
Hands.
Key soap or geisha?
Okay. Oh, I'll not tell you. But so apart from that, what other constituency are we looking
at? Wejak Bawi is an interesting constituency because I'm in that area.
Where Tina lost?
Yeah, where Tina lost. Rightly so, because she wasn't visible enough to their constituents. And because as well, from what I understand on the field, she wasn't supposed to contest. She had given an assurance that she was not going to run. It was a turn for the MCE, Patrick Kumo, to contest. And Tina decided to join the race. And Patrick dropped out because, of course, Tina's boy. And then Tina lost. Unfortunately, Patrick also died.
Oh.
Yes, unfortunately. And Tina lost to Jerry Ahmed.
I know Jerry.
Yeah, you know that those small yellow Koda. He's the CEO of Koda.
Yes.
And you see, Jerry is not originally in the Wejak constituency. Jerry actually contested in a different constituency. He lost.
Is it the Ablekuma South?
Yes,
right.
2016.
Right. I remember that quite well.
He contested and he lost to Kovandapoy.
What does it look like? How does it look like?
It looks like the MPP will still maintain their solid lead.
Okay.
I mean, Wejak Bawi, before it was split to Anyasu, Tum, and the rest of them, it was a constituency that was dominated by Shelley Ayokobochi. Yeah. And Shelley, I don't think I recall Shelley losing an election. She's had one of the most successful runs, parliamentary, became the Minister for Foreign Affairs. Now she's going global. Recently got a position and the Commonwealth as well. So you see, Jerry is likely to win. But you see, the NDC guy who has come in now is someone who has been within the constituency for long. He's a homeboy. He's grown up there and all of that. But you see, I don't know how it will play out for him. Because Obobia did everything. She set up a foundation. The building is now Malam Johnson, it's now a microfinance.
Oh.
She did everything.
But the people still didn't
give it. They still didn't give it to them. They gave it to the MPP.
Okay.
So it's likely that it will tilt in favor of the MPP. Ablekuma North. You know the funny thing? 2020, Sheila Battles. She unseated Ekwia. Now Ekwia has unseated her. And Ekwia is likely to win.
Okay.
Again.
Instead of Irabna.
Yeah. It's an MPP seat.
Right.
It's an MPP
Briefly
seat.
before we go, Ablekuma West. Musa Dankwa had predicted that Esla was likely going to lose. So I want to know what your numbers are also telling you.
It's a constituency for the MPP. And Esla is a strong candidate. Esla may be losing favor with certain people who are not happy with her whatsoever.
Especially those are along the coastal line.
But Esla is still Esla. We are 2 days to the polls. Anything can happen.
I agree.
And if you are in that area, if you notice, anytime it's time for elections, there's this feel that Esla is not going to win again. Esla is this, and she still wins.
But you know what the funny thing? In 2020, Reverend Kikwado actually closed in. I think for the first time in a long time, the NPP had done over 30,000.
But he managed to close the gap.
He managed to close the gap.
But Esla is still Esla.
I agree. And we're wrapping up. But I don't find him competitive enough.
Why?
He accepts that maybe in Ablekuma, Dansoman last stop is dominated by NPPs. So I'm not going to go there to campaign. That has been a strategy. And that, for me, is indicative of the fact that you want to accept that you will lose. Because in Dansoman, there are two major parks. One at the roundabout area, and then the last stop area. I think there's a Karikari Park or something. Esla knows that there are so many NDC supporters there, but that is where she chose to celebrate her birthday. Just like Baumia is doing in the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency, because he believes that he may have offended the elites there. So he wants to do this to make an appeal to them.
Exactly.
Esla deliberately celebrated her birthday there. But
and people came in their numbers.
You saw the videos. Yeah. Kwekwado would not try to come to Runabout because he's I didn't NPP phone quite a while.
He's just trying to consolidate the gains within the NDC area.
You will just stick to the numbers you have made over the past few years.
But before we go, let's talk about. Yesterday, you were so concerned about Amadokia.
Dokia and
then is it Teresa Ladia?
Yes.
You know,
Okaikwe North.
Okaikwe North.
Right.
So if you look at that particular seat, it's actually a battle of women, and it's a seat that has been predominantly for the MPP.
But is Dokia a force to reckon with?
Dokia came from Ikuapem North to come and contest in a constituency that she lives in, but has no commitment to, and she managed to unseat whoever wanted to contest on the ticket of the MPP.
The Maslock lady, Ifya, what's her name?
Ifya
Kutu.
And she managed to do that. So she is a force to reckon with.
So we should be looking out for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you see, it's the history behind that seat. It's for MPP. And then the wins that Theresa made, the gains she made against the MPP, Fuseni Issa, was just 2,039 votes. So it can be closed up. But people are also saying that Theresa is a force to reckon with. She is the, how do you call it? She identifies with the people. She walks with them, talks with them, and she knows them, and she's lived among them for a while. So Amadokia may not necessarily be a force to reckon with. But it's an interesting constituency to watch out for. Ablekuma Central, Jefferson Saki. It flipped.
That is my producer's constituency.
It flipped to the NDC.
He was telling us to wrap up. See the way he's relaxed.
Yeah, he wants us to continue. Jefferson Saki. He's a media person, works at the presidency, so you'd want to say that,
he may have the resources.
Yeah, and you could see him everywhere. But you see, it flipped to the NDC by 204 votes. It can turn in the favor of Jefferson Saki.
204.
204 votes. And you see, people make comments about the fact that there is Abose Okan over there. The people who do spare parts business at Abose Okan, they are not largely people who vote there. There's a mixture of
work there.
Yeah, there's the Akans, the Kwewus, and spare parts like they would go back to wherever they came from to go and vote. So you'd see that it's not an area you'd want to be necessarily focused on that, the city depreciation has affected them. But there's a converse of this conversation. Okay. What if there are people who will largely accept the flat rates and then the tax breaks?
Because it directly affects them.
So it could tilt in the favor of anyone.
Jefferson.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Over there.
That I agree. But thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tutua.
This has been the Poll Talk on Starr today. I've been here with Akojo Mensah, who's had to leave for TV, and of course, Emmanuel Ijabe. We have a lot more stories for you after this break.
Your friend Mary Ampomadu Fimi Fife Yase Obosumche constituency. Nyamia Dom 2016 MPP Bar Bem and a free education by me Jina has say, Mammy, a trader, and Papa and Suya Mason. Me when you are no Munsia, Mina Mitosun Sia. Senior free SHS and come into me in good school. Nyamia Dom Metimia Co school. I am a Pam free exams hall because Medeka. Nasa metimi enya asumdue e dia ko school esuade apa se me wasi exam sa na MPP adaroma me amigina me engineer me dikan e o mabusia mu enye MPP adaroma ankamenti me anko school ambe engineer enye free teachers nso adaroma ankamenti me so ambe engineer enti me ma me no ma mo wa sei mesra mu muma yentu aba emma dakba umia December 7 yenko ne yenko to aba yenfa yetumi nko yi amampanyfo a omoba omobebe ye man yi amampanyfo omodwene ye daache ho amampanyfo omodwene daache nchiri ma ho mesra mu medamase
muma ye mabunu daache ho ban wo bra ye to aba ma number 1 December 7 to aba ma ba umia
Mama Guma, this year, I go vote Angaza. Even if they offer me all the watcher in Ghana. Lai, I not go mess up.
Me too. Okrowo power. Conti, buy you. But with a shine on eyes, I hear say them they massage and change the results at the EC head office.
My people, I'm sure you're still talking about the election again. But what is the gist?
I heard they're able to change the figures at the EC head office and make our vote useless.
Let me assure you, even if we put your party's candidate, chairman, and general secretary as the EC chairperson and deputies, they will still not be able to steal the election for any candidate.
Sir?
The election is won or lost at the polling station, not at the EC head office. Every polling station has party agents watching like hawks.
But what about the ballot boxes? How do we know they are secure?
We treat the ballot boxes like then they carry pure gold. The ballot box is sealed with the seals of the Electoral Commission and all the political parties who choose to.
And the counting process, how do we know it's fair?
The counting is done openly for all to watch. Freely. The results go on a carbonized pink sheet. Pink sheet, no?
Yes.
The pink sheets are signed by all the agents. So we post a copy of the signed pink sheets at the polling station and also give copies to all the parties.
How are the results recorded?
From close to 40,000 polling stations, parties collate results from the pink sheets. Whoever gets the most votes from the pink sheets wins. Are you free? Are you fair?
So if the party fails to check the pink sheet properly,
blame yourself.
Exactly. Look, the way the security services, the party agents, election observers, and even the media make wild they watch the election inside. Nobody go fit steal this election inside. The EC they ensure say the voting process it be free, it be fair, where it be transparent on top. So make confident, then go and cast your vote on election day. But remember, elections are won and lost at the polling station, not at the EC head office. 2024 election process, no, it be clean, no kululu.
Hey, Auntie and her replica. Long time. How may I help you?
Auntie Ama, our course has gained admission to the university, but the money to pay for her fees is my headache now. Where am I going to get 2,500 cedis in this Ghana? Where?
Yes, stop that. You don't have to stress about the fees. Hey, keep your cloth. John Mahama and the NDC say when they come to power, all first-year students in all public universities, technical universities, college of education, and nursing training will pay no academic fees. The first year is free.
Hey! This is the best news I've heard this year. Wow!
You see, that is not all. Listen! JDM says continuing students can apply and access a student loan plus, which is higher than the normal student loan, to support the payment of their fees. So when a course goes to second year, she will have access to the student loan plus to continue her education.
Wow! God bless you, JDM.
What is so heartwarming is a free tertiary education for our brothers and sisters who are physically challenged.
JDM, God bless the stomach that gave birth to you.
Vote for change. Vote for John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the round 2 of the quiz show. And these are the questions. Which party introduced the National Health Insurance Scheme? Yes, Kwete.
MPP.
Correct for 3 points. Which party introduced the school feeding program to provide meals for school children in primary schools? Yes, Genfi.
NPP.
Correct for 3 points. Which party introduced the livelihood empowerment against poverty? Leave. Yes, Bawa.
NPP.
Correct for 3 points. Which party introduced the free senior high school? That's the free SHS. Yes, Kwete.
NPP.
Correct for 3 points. Who has promised the youth in Kukon Kitinkiti business similar to a confirmed that flew to Burkina Faso? Yes, Bawa.
John Mahama.
John Mahama is also correct. Which party has constructed more roads within 8 years? Yes, Kwete.
NPP.
Correct for 3 points. Which government addressed the problem of getting emergency drug, blood, and vaccine delivery to remote parts of Ghana?
NPP.
NPP is also correct. Mention at least 3 interventions of Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia as the Vice President.
Digital Property Address System, Mobile Money Interoperability, Medical Drones, Zongo Development Fund.
I asked for only 3, and that's correct. Mention at least 4 interventions of John Mahama as the Vice President. Kwete.
0.
0 is correct. NPP and NDC, who has more social interventions? Bawa.
NPP.
NPP is also correct for 3 points.
So, who will you vote for on December 7th?
Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia. On December 7th, let's vote number 1. Let's vote for Dr. Bawumia. Estroho.
The presidential and parliamentary elections 2024.
The Electoral Commission of Ghana is constitutionally mandated to conduct presidential and parliamentary elections on Saturday, 7 December 2024. Voting will start at 7 a.m. prompt and end at 5 p.m. Please report at the polling station as early as you can to cast your vote. Bring along your voter ID card so you can easily be identified. Even if you don't have your voter ID card, still go to the polling station. A name reference list officer will check your particulars in the names reference list. A verification officer will verify your identity as a registered voter with a verification device. You will be issued a presidential ballot paper. Please check to see that there are no marks on it. Also, ensure it has a validation stamp at the back. Make your way to the voting booth. Thumbprint correctly your choice of presidential candidate and cast your vote. Proceed to the next polling assistant for a parliamentary ballot paper. Make your way to the voting booth. Thumbprint correctly your choice of MP and cast your ballot. Please leave the polling station after casting your ballot. You may return at the close of polls for counting of ballots. Have a say in issues that affect you. Exercise your right to vote.
Your vote is your future.
Today, first, fast, and credible.
You're welcome back from the break. This is still Starr Today here on Starr FM. I am Tutua Danso. Now, the Electoral Commission has directed the Ghana Police Service to commence investigation into a pickup truck reportedly impounded for transporting ballot papers and voters' register to Ahafo 1 and 2. Now, the directive follows a viral video which showed the truck with registration number GE1453-23 transporting alleged fake ballot papers and register. If you're on social media and joining our feed, you can watch the video which has been extracted for our radio audience.
Open for me. This is how it looks, boss. This is how it is.
Electoral Commission of Ghana, voter register. Electoral Commission of Ghana.
Edebi na me call Abuja. Mene.
But the EC in these developments insists the voter register and the track in the video do not belong to the commission. In a statement, it says that the Electoral Commission has taken note of a video circulating on social media which shows a copy of a supposed voters register for Ahafo 1 and 2 being transported in a white pickup truck together with other registers. Now, the voters register shown in the video is not that of the EC. The commission's register are black and white and not colored as shown in the video. It is important to note that the Commission provides the final register to the political parties. As has been the practice, the political parties also print the final register for their agents. Additionally, it is instructive to note that the track in the video does not belong to the commission. The public should disregard the said video. It is calculated to create suspicion and mistrust for the commission and its work. We urge the police to investigate this matter. The registration number of the pickup truck, which is visible in the video, should be able to assist the police in their investigation. Signed by Samuel Tete, Deputy Chairman in charge of operations for the NDC. Let's go over the phone lines now and have a conversation on the back of this. And we've been joined by Mustafa Bande. He's the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC in charge of operations. Mustafa, thank you very much. But why do you insist that the NPP is behind all of this?
Which one?
The circulation of the fake video in a pickup truck.
No, first of all, we are contesting election with the MPP. They are in government. And in fact, our suspicion was even validated, quite apart from the fact that the printing press is a crime scene by highly powered criminals who are aimed at committing electoral fraud. They were aided by the Jubilee House. In fact, a military officer, Lieutenant Colonel Kwache, came from the Jubilee House with soldiers to come and help them move the pickup. The following day, Operation Calm Life, 2 pickups, I have their number plate. We have profiled every single one of the officers who was involved. We're the ones protecting the private printing press called Smart Line. So then you ask, how come the military is now protecting a crime scene? This was all orchestrated by President Akufo-Addo with the tacit involvement of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the entire Jubilee House with the sole purpose of perpetrating electoral fraud. That is their only avenue to retain power. They know that it is left with 48 hours. The people of Ghana will get them out. So the only way to retain themselves, to continue the criminal governance, is to rig the election. Quite ignorant on their part. They didn't know that Ghanaians are so vigilant. And I've been telling them that it is the people of Ghana who are running our campaign. We have instituted surveillance and intelligence gathering that is more effective than that of the state. And so there is no way you will pass that we are not aware. We are determined to get this government out of power. And I can say on authority that the Jubilee House was behind that criminal act of printing fake ballot papers. Look, I'm holding an intelligence of how they have planned to orchestrate all sorts of things at police stations, where they will do bad traffic, where they will bribe agents, where they will send tax, where they will bribe party people, where they will share money. So if you have a political party with this kind of mentality, they are nation breakers, they are destiny killers, and they are dangerous and should not be allowed close to the governance of our country. And I'm shocked that this is the legacy of President Akufo-Addo. What would he be thinking when he becomes a former president?
Okay, but the EC has given clarity that, you know, the said ballots are not coming from them. Does that comfort you enough?
No, we didn't even involve EC in this presentation. Okay. It is not EC. EC was never there. It is the MPP perpetrating electoral fraud of ballot stuffing. And I'm holding some 137 constituencies they have targeted to do this. Eastern region, Ashanti region, Western North, and some Volta region, and some other constituencies where they have targeted to do this. The last one they will do, we know where they will do it. We will attack the place very soon, and all of you will get to know. We want to prove to the MPP that we have the backing of Ghanaians to win this election, and that any wrong move from them will be resisted with alacrity. We didn't mention EC at all. EC was not involved in this at all. Okay. It was the criminals within the Jubilee House who perpetrated this and were caught.
Okay. Mustafa, thank you very much for your time this evening. Mustafa Bande is the Deputy General Secretary in charge of operations for the NDC. Away from that, the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Kufuor, has summoned a crunch meeting with the leadership of the 2 leading political parties, the NPP and the NDC. Now, this comes amid plans by the 2 parties to hold final rallies within a stone throw from each other. The two parties will pitch camp in neighboring constituencies in the Greater Accra region to sum up months of intense campaigning across 276 constituencies. Now, while the NDC is taking over Medina with its final rally themed Reset in Ghana, Let's Finish Strong, their main contenders, the NPP, are storming Ayawaso West Wogan constituency with the Possibilities Victory Rally at the University of Ghana Sports Directorate Park. Now, both parties say all is set for a successful event come tomorrow. But before we hear from the two parties, let's quickly cross over to the police headquarters where my colleague Peter Dato is stationed and has been monitoring that crunch meeting between the IGP and the political parties. Peter, thank you very much for joining us. Has the meeting started? Well, we'll cross over to my colleague Peter Dato shortly, who's been monitoring that crunch meeting between the NPP and the NDC, because we understand that the IGP is leading the leaders of the two political parties as their final rallies come off tomorrow within some 10 kilometers difference. While the NDC is holding its rally at Medina, the NPP is also holding its rally at the University of Ghana Sports Directorate, which is just in the Ayawaso West Wogan constituency. But let's go over the phone lines now because Peter has joined us. Peter, has the meeting started?
Hello.
Has the meeting started, Peter?
Yeah, good evening. Yes, the meeting has actually ended. And the two leading parties met with the police hierarchy to discuss their program tomorrow. Prior to that, the IGP led the police of the election task force to go around to the two spots where the events are supposed to take place tomorrow to inspect the place and to ensure that there are everything on the ground to ensure nobody falter during the events tomorrow. So, based on the assessment and the security measures taken, there has been road blocks or road diversion instituted to ensure that these two parties, their supporters and other people sympathizers who will attend this event tomorrow don't cross paths anywhere where there could be anything unexpected happening during the day. So, this serious security arrangement put in place, more deployment has been planned for the day tomorrow. Police, MTTD, and the other police personnel will be around the ground, diverting people from Adenta towards Medina and from Accra going towards Medina area. NDC personnel, people or NDC participants who will be going to the place will be diverted at Shiashi so that they will not have any access to pass through Legon before accessing Medina.
Okay. Peter, we understand that earlier the IGP was vehemently opposed to the idea of these two major political parties holding rallies just some 10 kilometers apart. So what changed now?
Well, perhaps based on the security assessment around the two places earlier today, might have led to the change of I don't have any idea about this disagreement, but there was a meeting with the two parties earlier to understand the situation, to discuss the plans of security around the place. So maybe all these things have informed the police to know that there has been assurance to ensure that nobody will cross paths anywhere. That is the reason why they would have allowed the event to take place tomorrow at the same area, because police will be everywhere on the ground to ensure that only people going towards MPP events will have access to go to Legon. Only people going for NDC events will have access to go to Medina tomorrow for this big event.
All right, Peter, thank you very much for those updates there. Peter Dato is my colleague who has been monitoring the developments during that crunch meeting involving leadership of the two leading political parties, that is the NDC and the NPP, because they are both having their final rallies tomorrow, and the NPP have chosen the Ayawaso West Wogan constituency, specifically the University of Ghana Sports Directorate, that is Legon, for their final rally under the work-themed Victory Possibilities rally. But the NDC has also chosen the Medina constituency to embark on their final rally to preach home the agenda of wanting to reset Ghana. And so the IGP met them earlier today, had to have a conversation with them as to how security can be instituted in a bit so that they do not clash. I mean, supporters of the two leading political parties do not clash. And earlier, the IGP had expressed reservations with these two political parties holding rallies just 10 kilometers apart. But today, what we are learning is that after that conversation with the leading political parties, the IGP has changed his mind and has given them the green light to hold their rallies just 10 kilometers apart. This is still Starr today. We'll come back with more stories after this break.
Send us money to take care of your nephews. Now they are back from school.
Last month, I sent you guys money. What happened to all that?
Wafa, the challenges with the free SHS has taken all the money. I sent the boys money weekly to buy food to eat because of the feeding challenges confronting their school. Aside that, they are back in the house on vacation due to the double-track traffic light system. And now I have to look for money to enroll them in private classes.
Papa, I understand your frustrations. Thankfully, the next NDC government under John Mahama will maintain and improve the free SHS program to make it work.
How will that be done?
The double track system will be abolished. A dedicated source of funding will be provided. Private SHS will be added.
Wow.
Food procurement will be decentralized and the quality of learning outcomes improved.
This will be a huge relief for us as parents and even for our wards in senior high schools.
Exactly. That is why you must tell your friends to vote for the Mahama-led NDC come December 7th.
Wafa, no shaking cry. We have already advised ourselves. Who doesn't want quality?
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Chief, if the election is won at the polling station, why is the final result declared by the EC chairperson?
Very good question. Let me break it down for you. For the presidential election, the whole country is one constituency. We add up the results from all the polling stations before declaring the winner. First, signed pin sheets go to the constituency collation center. Then results from all polling stations in that constituency are added up and the constituency winner is declared.
So when we finish voting at the polling station, the results are taken to the constituency.
The results are forwarded from the constituency to the regional collation center. The party agents and observers are all at these centers. The regional collation center adds up all constituency results and declares the regional winner.
Hey, this process is long, Papa.
Hey, that's not all. This is serious business. Regional results come to the EC head office. Party agents, observers, any media for no one monitor. The EC chairperson simply adds up all the results from all the 16 regions to get the presidential winner.
EC chairperson, she don't go fit declare any winner she want.
There is no way to declare a winner other than the person elected from the 40,000 polling stations. Everything is transparent.
Now MPs they no way.
That's straightforward. We collect the signed pink sheets from all the polling stations in that constituency and declare the winner right there at the constituency.
So if the party fails to properly collect their own pink sheets results,
no dear,
voila. Blame yourself times 2.
Take note that all through this process, all political party agents and observers them did their feeling. Nobody they sleep. From the polling stations to the constituency collation centers to the regional collation centers and even the national collation center at the EC head office. All political party agents and observers them did their constant. Them open them eyes all they watch everything. Feeling. Nobody go fit steal this election inside. Look, even EC chairperson self no go fit steal this election inside. 2024 elections. It be frinchim. It be clean. And with the whole kind. No gululu.
Are you a LEAP beneficiary household member? Do you know a LEAP beneficiary in your community? For your information, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection will commence the nationwide payment of cash grants to beneficiary households of the LEAP program for the 93rd cycle on 2nd December 2024. One eligible member household is entitled to 256 Ghana cedis. Two eligible member households are entitled to 304 Ghana cedis. Three eligible member households are entitled to 352 Ghana cedis, and 4 more eligible member households are entitled to 424 Ghana cedis. Count your money before leaving the pay point or bank, or ask your community volunteer or the social welfare officer to assist. Do not accept anything less than expected. Demand your receipt after being paid and keep it for reference. Caregiver, do not give part of your money to anyone for any reason. Caregiver, spend your money on your household's nutrition, education of children, and invest in productive activities to earn more income and assets for sustainable livelihoods. This is important because all beneficiary households will not be on the LEAP program forever. Report challenges about the program to the community focal person or district social welfare officer. Also, you can call these toll-free numbers 0800 800 800 or 0800 900 900. Once again, the 93rd cycle payment will commence on December 2nd, 2024. This message is from the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection and the LEAP Management Secretariat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the round 2 of the quiz show. And these are the questions. Which party introduced the National Health Insurance Scheme? Yes, Kwete.
MPP.
Correct for 3 points. Which party introduced the school feeding program to provide meals for school children in primary schools? Yes, Genfi.
NPP.
Correct for 3 points. Which party introduced the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty? LEAP. Yes, Bauer.
NPP.
Correct for 3 points. Which party introduced the free senior high school? That's the free SHS. Yes, Kwete.
MPP.
Correct for 3 points. Who has promised the youth in Kukon Kitinkiti business similar to a confirmed that flew to Burkina Faso? Yes, Bauer.
John Mahama.
John Mahama is also correct. Which party has constructed more roads within 8 years? Yes, Kwete.
MPP.
Correct for 3 points. Which government addressed the problem of getting emergency drug, blood and vaccine delivery to remote parts of Ghana?
NPP.
NPP is also correct. Mention at least 3 interventions of Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia as the Vice President.
Digital Property Address System, Mobile Money Interoperability, Medical Drones, Zongo Development Fund.
I asked for only 3 and that's correct. Mention at least 4 interventions of John Mahama as the Vice President. Kwete.
0.
0 is correct. NPP and NDC, who has more social interventions? Bauer.
NPP.
NPP is also correct for 3 points.
So, who will you vote for on December 7th?
Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia.
On December 7th, let's vote number 1. Let's vote for Dr. Bawumia. Estroho.
Young lady, why are you standing here looking so disappointed?
I'm a university graduate. I've been searching for a job for over 4 years, but all my efforts have been in vain.
Don't worry, I have good news for you. Alan Shematin is guaranteeing 3 million jobs for the youth of Ghana. All you need to do is upload your CV on the 3MJ platform.
To register, first, upload your CV. Second, enter your personal details. Third, select your area of interest. That's all.
Thank you, Alan. You've changed my life.
Then remember to vote Asieho for Alan on December 7th.
The presidential and parliamentary elections 2024.
The Electoral Commission of Ghana is constitutionally mandated to conduct presidential and parliamentary elections on Saturday, 7 December 2024. Voting will start at 7 a.m. prompt and end at 5 p.m. Please Please report at the polling station as early as you can to cast your vote. Bring along your voter ID card so you can easily be identified. Even if you don't have your voter ID card, still go to the polling station. A name reference list officer will check your particulars in the names reference list. A verification officer will verify your identity as a registered voter with a verification device. You will be issued a presidential ballot paper. Please check to see that there are no marks on it. Also, ensure it has a validation stamp at the back. Make your way to the voting booth. Thumbprint correctly your choice of presidential candidate and cast your vote. Proceed to the next polling assistant for a parliamentary ballot paper. Make your way to the voting booth. Thumbprint correctly your choice of MP and cast your ballot. Please leave the polling station after casting your ballot. You may return at the close of polls for counting of ballots. Have a say in issues that affect you. Exercise your right to vote.
Your vote is your future.
Starr today. First, fast, and credible.
You're welcome back from the break. Let's still stay on election-related matters this evening because presidential candidate of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, is teasing his main opponent and flag bearer of the governing New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, following an initial failed attempt in the commissioning of the e-border system at the Kotoka International Airport. While speaking at a mini rally in the Amanso Nkwanta constituency as part of his campaign tour of the Ashanti region, Mahama highlighted the mishap as an example of the government's digital shortcomings. Listen to him.
Airport. Nabako, the passport are expired. No name. Until the mom passport. And your car say, now say, you bet me the Ghana card two coin. And I'm saying, Fama, say, almost you bet me the two coin. Ghana, hey, immigration officer, or say there be own to me for two coin. Eti, Sanya, Yanino corner and the passport are expired. No, ye Jan or Ghana, and your cobai. Na, and as the same see, machina, a year, machina, se uba or maimua, now pentema, a year electronic, into which name, now what they were passport, at also. Eti me kind of passport no na akasa twam na bie gate no twam na saa de no e wo airport bebre na mente se ye die si airport a o mampanya na bede kire ekobia no e bi se e ya de a airport bia omode to ho na Mr Digital opeso obia hu so ya Mr Digital odon ko ojan ni bibia se saa electronic gate no kobia no and ode ne Ghana card eto so gate say MBA or the atoso gate say MBA and the profokasam ni American say the digital gates didn't open for the digital man as a may you so on ne kasa na maka say you can do all the propaganda with digitalization you like. If the fundamentals of your digitalization are weak, the digital gates will expose you.
Now, pressure is mounting on the country's security agencies to arrest and prosecute the Member of Parliament for the Ayawaso West Wogan constituency, Lydia Seram Al-Hassan, for distributing food to security officials during Monday's special voting exercise. Now, according to the founding member of the governing New Patriotic Party, Dr. Nyahu Tamaklu, the actions of the MP are unacceptable for someone of her caliber. He addressed the media earlier today.
I saw that and it was very disheartening. I mean, it was being done openly. Now, we shouldn't forget ourselves that we are in a new technology world. So anything you say, anything you do can be covered. It was so shameful. And what hurt me most was that these people in line to go and vote were security personnel. And I didn't see one of them rejecting it. I didn't see one of them rejecting it. And what also disturbed me was that the PC, that's the parliamentary candidate for that particular constituency, when questioned, she denied it. That's right. Such a person is not qualified. In fact, If it had been in a civilized country, she should have left that contest by now. The party would demand that she leaves. The party would demand that she leaves. She denied flatly that she has not been there. Why she has been captured on video. We don't need such people in parliament. We don't need such people as lawmakers. They will destroy this country. Indeed, I will pray that she loses the election if she's still going to contest. Because she is a person you cannot rely on. And this also should alarm us and alarm the security services. I have always been saying the IGP seems to talk a lot, but a lot happens that he is quiet on. Such a person should have been arrested there and then.
Well, meanwhile, former President John Dramani Mahama has also condemned the distribution of food to voters. He stressed that the sharing of food to electorates and the recording of ballots contravenes electoral laws. The former president made these remarks during a mini rally at Bosome Frehon in the Tebeso constituency of the Ashanti region.
Na ebinmo ede enyoma abra nipa ejina santinimo omukoto aba na yede eduane na enyoma epuampu ankrofo na saa de na etiamra na emi ngwangwa se obi owo mra nse bedwum a wo ye nipa ye frɛ enimonyamfo na wo kocheche eduane ne ade ema ankrofo omukoto aba de bi enya ne sa enti saa semia osi ehwe na Omo a was a mushroom, na omuhu near a sea. Na so Omo omode omo phone, echo a polling booth, no, echo trap ballot paper, no, etiamra, and yadia emra emma hoquine. And tis obin the phone, echo cha, na udi tuja, a yadia one shea, baby, ubedano, and yadia ubepe. Na near one say. Ni omo de bebia mesremo eye mu fifre ene mo bre esika pi shenkrofon passe sika shenkrofon passe enti omo yi bi no mo de ba na ye mo bre esika mo fifre esika enti omo yi kakra no mo de ba no mo de ba mo amonje na mo nye de na mo ndi enso mo aba senya o mampanyi ku foka na asem no hwe wa setina na ye den
So you had the former President John Dramani Mahama is also flag bearer of the NDC. But what news coming in quickly indicates that the lead suspect, that will be getting to that shortly. All right, so the news coming in indicates that the lead suspect in the murder of JB Dankwedu in the person of Daniel Esiedu, Sexy Dondon, he is to face a retrial for murder. Why? Because jury today returned a 4-3 not guilty verdict. And what does this exactly mean? Because this trial has been on for over 8 years. And so we'll get some clarity on the matter from EIB's legal affairs correspondent Mutala Inusa. He'll be joining us shortly on the phone. Mutala is on. So Mutala, I mean, basically, talk to me. What really does this mean?
Well, Joshua, after over 8 years and 10 months, prosecution called 8 witnesses, and today the jury, a 7-member panel of the jury, has to return a 4-3 verdict in favor of Daniel Esiedu, who has been accused of killing JB Dankwedu. In fact, 2 counts or 2 charges, robbery and murder. On both counts, the jury returned 4-3 verdict in favor. What the decision of the jury means is that Daniel Esiedu will have to, or what they have done, it amounts to hang jury, and per the law, a decision has not been made. The Daniel Esiedu will have to go for a retrial. So that is the decision that has been taken by the jury. And remember that the decision of the jury is bound on the court. And so once they return a 4-3 verdict, it is a hung jury. So Daniel Esidu will have to face a retrial. So there's no decision. The decision of the verdict, the jury ended inconclusively. Justice Lydia Osema, who presided over the case, has adjourned the matter to the 20th of December. And what is clear per the law is that the case will have to be assigned to a different judge, and a new panel will be empaneled. So the decision is that there's no decision. The jury returned a hung jury 4-3 in favor of Daniel Esidu on the charges of robbery and murder.
An interesting, Captain. So really, you're saying that because it was a hung jury, what that means is that the case would have to be retried. But what happens to Daniel Esidu in the interim? Is he going to remain in custody while this is being retried?
So immediately, his lawyer, led by lawyer Yao Dankwa, made an oral submission for the court to admit him to bail. But Justice Lydia Osema, for Justice of the Court of Appeal, who is presiding over the matter as a High Court judge, said that he has to come formally. So what lawyer told me is that they are going to apply, put everything on paper, and come officially apply for bail for their client. And they are very happy of the decision taken, that they say that their client has never committed any offense and nobody should see him so. Daniel Esidu is as innocent as anybody, because today the decision of the jury went in their favor. But of course, in the eyes of the law, it means a hung jury and a retrial will have to happen.
Interesting. But really, what was Sexy Don Don's mood?
Joshua, when the jury retired to come out with their decision, I saw him in tears. And one of the reasons that was assigned to was that a junior sister of his was in court, and he does not know how she was going to take that particular outcome of the whole matter. He broke into tears, but at some point in time, he composed himself when he realized that the jury effectively made a decision in his favor. But that decision made by the jury is ineffective. It doesn't set him free. But he's hoping that his lawyers will be able to apply for bail, and that the court will find favor with him and admit him to bail. The decision of the jury means that he has seen some hope, some way, somehow. But what is clear is that 8 years on, a decision has not been taken in relation to J.B. Dankwa abusement. In fact, a brother of J.B. Dankwa, senior brother of J.B. Dankwa, was in court for the first time and many, many more years ever since this case started. And they were so disappointed about the outcome of the case. They said that the family are going to also look at the whole thing, look at the decision of the court, and they will advise them. So, but what is clear is that Daniel Esidu seems to have favor with the jury, but that 4-3 decision does not set him free.
Well, very well. Captain, thank you so much. Thanks so much for the update. And like you said, family of J.B. Dankwa also say that they would have to now look at the matters at hand and know the way forward. But we're grateful for the report there. So Tutua, after 8 years, 10 months, Sexy Dondon.
It must be refreshing to be given a not guilty verdict.
But a not guilty verdict that is ineffective, like Captain said, because yes, you're not guilty, but you're still not going home.
Your freedom is literally on the fence.
Yes.
There's no decisive action.
Exactly.
As to what is going to happen to you. And I'm just wondering how long the pre-trial could take.
And that's another issue. This one has taken 8 years, 10 months.
That's
the next
9 years.
And the new trial, the interesting bit about it is that we're going to have a new judge. We have to empanel a new jury. And then if we have instances where the jurors will decide not to come to court because they've not been paid the allowances, then we are going to have another issue of, delayed trial among others. Really, as a state, is this how we would want to expend our resources, though? But I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a law student as well. I'm just a concerned Ghanaian citizen.
But I'm also worried, should I say worried, for the family of J.B. Dankwa, because I know that they were hoping, that today was going to be the judgment day where finally to be brought to the matter.
Closure.
Chasing the death justice of the death of your relative for close to 9 years can be a daunting task.
Well, I mean, it's said that the wheels of justice grind slowly, but this time around is really ground very, very slow.
Like
and for a family,
the wheels broke down at the points.
Well, and for a family that is really desirous of closure, because when you lose a relative, you're already battling with the absence of the person. But to have that constant reminder in the form of a court case where you have to. And it's just something, and I really think it's going to be a long run for the family, looking at how this has gone. But like Mutala said, they would consider their options as it stands now.
I see. Now tomorrow, that 2 major political parties are holding their final rallies. What are your expectations?
My expectations, I think I don't have any expectations for the political parties. My concern is for those who live in Adenta and live in Oyarifa, Tema, Special Eyes, Dodowa, Oyibi. They're the ones I'm more concerned about.
Why?
Because on a normal day, it takes a lot of time to go home if you're coming from Accra. Now you have to battle Shiashi traffic, get to University of Ghana, Konglo, and there's a mammoth rally. You would encounter serious gridlock. If you are able to manage your way and go towards the best school in Ghana, Presec Legon, and then cross over from Atomic Junction and get into Medina. And get into Medina. At the Zurak Park, the NDC is also having the Umbrella Party, which is going to go into the night because they'll be playing Kwen Kwen. Of course. Nasis Kwen Kwen. So people will be doing Soloku. And so that place will be so choked. And if you know Medina, Zongo Junction, then you get to Zurak Park. Then if God loves you and you are able to manage to cross that, that's when you get to Adenta barrier with all the challenges there. So if you live in Dodowa or Oyibi, Charlie, look for alternative routes. Don't try to use the main route tomorrow. Don't come to work. Just send an email to your boss. Send an email to your boss and say, dear boss, comma. From the bottom of my heart, I cannot come to work because of MPP and NDC. But I feel that it's going to be massive for them. The choice, like we said earlier, the choice for the various parties is very strategic for me. I'm not really sure why NDC chose Medina, because I have a feeling it's not going to be a battle for Susu.
I agree.
Yes. It won't be much of a battle for Susu, but for
there's nobody really there to plead.
Exactly. But for the MPP, I understand. I have also West Wagon is a dicey, it's very, very dicey constituency. Yeah. I mean, I plan on buying a plot of land there, so.
Before the year ends, right?
It is possible. Yes. And it is, Zusable. Very Zusable. It is very Zusable.
But that wraps up Starr today here on Starr FM. Thank you very much for your company. For more news updates.
But Tutua, before we go, so for those in the central region, the princess is coming your way. Please make way for her and make sure the Budumburan traffic, you clear that part for Tutua to come to the central region. You want a Deba for you to come and cover elections in central region. No mas,
These updates, log on to starfm.com.gh. I am Tutua Danso. This bulletin was produced by Echo Annan and then my wonderful co-hosts
Joshua Kojo Mensa. And many thanks to the guys, Emmanuel, Joey, making it happen and making sure that we are live on Facebook. Benjamin Saki, the guy and to Prince Essien, whose guest did not come today. Don't let it repeat itself. Yes. Yeah, she's my zoo.
And she's my Isabel. We're back tomorrow. Have a good evening.